You can compare how the economy has fared between Republican and Democratic administrations at www.presidentialeconomics.com. In this presentation, we compare federal spending trends and the growth of the debt between 1981 and 2008. Spending growth was higher during Republican administrations across the board, from spending on defense to social program spending, including Medicare and Medicaid. Each of these graphs indicate the annual change in spending after adjusting for inflation. Tax revenues declined during the Reagan and both Bush administrations. However, by raising spending while cutting taxes, the federal debt grew 9.4% a year on average from 1981 to 2008 over the 20 years that Reagan and both Bush administrations were in office. After inflation, the debt quadrupled under Republican presidents since 1981. The debt did not grow at all during Clinton's administration. Here we see that the debt is approaching the size of the gross domestic product, or GDP. The debt equaled 15% of the GDP in 1981, but today equals 75% of the GDP, 5 times larger. At $11.7 trillion, the debt amounts to $37,241 for each American. If we wanted to pay it back at a favorable 4% interest rate, we would each pay over $2,000 a year in extra taxes for the next 30 years to pay it back. All 315 million of us. Most of this cost is due to high spending and debt growth during the Republican presidency since 1981. Each red bar on this slide represents defense spending. We see that it took off under Reagan in 1981, and it hasn't let up much. The annual deficits in blue took off during Reagan's administration as well. The deficit rose sharply in 2008 at the end of the second Bush administration, and the deficits during the Obama years are almost off the charts in 2009 through 2012. This table looks complex, but it's really simple. It shows that the high Obama deficits are due to lower tax collections and continued high defense spending. From 2009 to 2012, income tax collections declined $2.2 trillion over what they would have been if the Great Recession hadn't hit. Social Security revenues declined $402 billion as well. After coupling this revenue drop with the $3.15 trillion we spent on defense, this more than exceeded the total Obama deficits that occurred from 2009 to 2012. The deficits weren't caused by increased Democrat spending. Federal spending was lower under Obama than it was under Bush. Tax revenues have recovered and are now back to 2007 levels. The major cause of the deficit remains our high defense spending. This page includes the sources used to produce these graphs and tables. Go to www.presidentialeconomics.com to see for yourself.